They get Johnson away, Davis in the middle, Zinkenagel in the middle, it's Zinkenagel, it's wide!
Sorry, I just zoned out for a second. Yeah. So the FA Cup quarterfinals are over. Let's talk about them. Of course, my team bowed out after being on such an incredible run of form. Go and check out the vlog I did for that game against Liverpool. Yeah, it was quite difficult to take because I thought we played really, really well and we took one of the best teams in the world all the way to the end. But regardless, what a run. And let's talk about it in more detail. If you do enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's all massively appreciated. We want to try and get to 3k, so you know, come on, help me out. I'd appreciate it a lot. And if you don't do it, then yeah, I'm not going to do anything, am I? But you know, just do it, really. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, Forest versus Liverpool. Forest, and to be fair, them as well, hit with injuries. They didn't have Trent Alexander-Arnold or Salah or Mane. We didn't have Scott McKenna, Max Lowe or Steve Cook, so 3 of our best defenders. So we had to improvise. This meant we brought in another attacker in Joe Lolly, who I thought had a really good game, looking like his old self again. And looking at the entire team, first half, I mean, to be honest, the entire game was very much Liverpool domination. But as we go into the game, we had more chances, but we just didn't properly take them. Well, we didn't, what am I on about? We didn't take them, we didn't score. And to be quite honest, I don't think Liverpool were anything special at all, and no one can say that they were, because when they came forward, they fluffed their chances. We defended incredibly well. I thought Figueiredo really, really proved his worth. And let's face it, and Cooper said this as well, if Steve Cook wasn't available on a free, he'd still be starting, and I wouldn't have an issue with that. However, I will still play Steve Cook ahead of him because Cook has obviously been brilliant, and you know, it looks like he's played for us for years, Steve Cook. But yeah, it's just brilliant to have so many good options in defence, and to be honest, across the entire pitch, it's just fantastic to have that much strength and depth. So yeah, having Figs available to finally play a few games in a row is going to be good. And you look at, obviously, Wall, what a brilliant performance from him, man of the match. And up front, we had the chances. Ryan Yates missed a header, and that Philip Zinkenagel chance will haunt him and for so many Forest fans for a long time. Just a question of what might have been if he had scored that, because if he scored it, I'm convinced we would have won that game. You know, we are very good at holding on to leads. So yeah, it's really difficult to take that, but ultimately we've lost to an incredibly good team. So, you know, regardless of the fact, that's why they're a good team. You know, good teams, world-class teams, they often can win games without really being that impressive or at their best, and that's why they win trophies, because they have the quality. They don't necessarily have to be using it all the time to win. But of course, there were 3 other games in the FA Cup, talking about Middlesbrough versus Chelsea. Borough, very similar to Forest in the sense that we're both going for the playoffs and had cup runs where we had to beat some of the very best in Man U and Spurs. Now, obviously, United haven't had the best season by their standards. Spurs, the often bottle stuff. And, I didn't watch this game nowhere near as much as the Forest one, obviously, because I wasn't there. Same goes to all these other 3 games, but I have watched all of them back. It just appears like a very standard routine win for Chelsea, obviously having a lot of issues off the pitch, and who knows what the future holds for them. Probably just a new owner, and they'll just continue to dominate, to be honest, but still. Mason Mount, I've been someone that's criticised him quite a lot in the past. I remember doing a video in my England team for the Euros last year, and I was full of praise of him, but since then my opinion changed quite a lot because he's been quite non-existent for England, and for Chelsea I think he's a bit overhyped. That might trigger a few people, but still, got 2 assists. That's the reason why I mentioned that, because he proved that I was wrong. The first goal was way too easy for Chelsea to score, to find Lukaku. Borough should have defended it better regardless of the opposition. And then Hakim Ziyech, he often scores absolute bangers from range, doesn't he? This goal is classic Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech, yeah, great player regardless, brilliant goal. And yeah, it could have been worse, couldn't it, really, for Borough? Just a bit unfortunate for them. A bit like Forest, they should be very, very happy and proud of their performance to have gone on the run that they have, to play a lot of top sides along the way and give them a good go. Obviously, Chelsea, they'll be a bit disappointed this season to not be in the title race, but they've got to the FA Cup final the last 2 years. They're going to want to try and go that one step further and win it this time, losing to Arsenal and obviously Leicester last season. And then Middlesbrough, obviously their focus is now trying to get the top 6, which they can be more consistent, which I think is Boa's issue, could quite easily do it in my opinion. If Chelsea want to get to the FA Cup final, they'll have to take down Crystal Palace, who for me are very, very exciting prospect right now in football. Patrick Vieira, I was a little bit 50-50 on him at first, but what a job he is doing, and what brilliant recruitment they had in the summer. You know, the likes of Conor Gallagher, Michael Olise, Marcus Guehi, who's got an England call-up now. They have been stars in this Palace side, and for such a long time I looked at Palace thinking they're just mediocre, just drifting, just happy to be in the Prem, mid-table mediocrity. They haven't really got a direction. I don't feel that anymore, and it's a really exciting time if you're a Crystal Palace supporter, because I think the future's pretty bright for you. Obviously, you're going to lose Conor Gallagher next season because he's on loan and he won't be able to play against Chelsea in the semi-finals. But yeah, you've got a good side here, and let's talk about what you actually did in the game, more importantly. Obviously, against an incredibly poor Everton side, a 4-0 win was, I mean, probably they should have done more, to be honest, because Everton are that bad, and we'll talk about them in a moment. But it was made easy for them, but at the same time they played well. The first goal, Marcus Guehi capping off a brilliant week, getting an England call-up with a header to take the lead for Palace. Zaha found, obviously, Mateta to get the second goal, and again, defending non-existent from Everton. And the third goal, this is what is wrong with Everton. Look at that defending. It's absolutely shambolic. Go and watch it back if you haven't already. It was initially from Zaha, who found Michael Olise. And this is the thing. His shot, it looked like it was going to go out, or at the very least, maybe the Everton players thought it was going to go in. That's how much of a losing mentality they're in. It stayed in. Zaha got it, rebounded, and it was a goal, 3-0. You look at the Everton defence. Look at Mason Holgate in particular. He's looking away. He's looking away when the goal's gone in, or at least when the shot from Elise hit the post. And I completely get why Lampard is questioning his players' mentality. But then again, that's his job, isn't it? You know? And he hasn't really done the greatest deal of an improvement so far. 10 games at Everton, 17 goals conceded. He may have won 4, but the rest has been pretty dross, really, from Everton. And you've got to be worried for them. You look at their running. They have not got a polite running at all, and they need to win maybe 4 games, really, at least, to survive. It's going to be tough for them to do that. It really is, because they've got some big teams left to play. Of course, Palace got a 4th goal in this game. Conor Gallagher's shot deflected to ex-Derby player Will Hughes to get the 4th for Palace. And yeah, it was made easy for them because they were playing a poor side, but they still played well. To sum this game up, really, credit to Palace, having a brilliant season. Everton, massive problems that they need to sort out very soon. Anyway, the final game, it was Southampton versus Manchester City. This was a 4-1 win for the Premier League leaders, and I watched a bit of this game. I saw the first goal. It was a poor mistake from Dale Stephens, easily collected by Jesus to find Raheem Sterling, of course, and Elise did equalise. We were just talking about Michael Elise, but he couldn't have been playing in 2 games at the same time or on the same day. I mean, El Yunusi. So, yeah. Elise did equalise a rebounded shot from Laporte from quite a cute angle, really. I didn't really watch this game in depth, but it appeared like Southampton, they had the chances, but ultimately City were just too good for them, and that often is the case. It is strange with Southampton because they were playing well, but all of a sudden they're now really poor. I'm sure Southampton fans can shed light on that, but you know, overall, obviously City got 3 more goals in this game. A penalty from De Bruyne, which was a questionable penalty in my opinion. I think Jesus went down a bit easily. And then obviously Phil Foden with a brilliant goal and topped off by Mahrez to go and get the 4th. So yeah, routine win for City, but it was made too easy for them by Southampton's poor defending. Overall, the FA Cup semi-finals, of course, are Chelsea v Crystal Palace and Liverpool versus Manchester City. I really hope Palace go through and beat Chelsea, because it's just funny when big teams lose, plus it makes it more interesting in my opinion. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button on it, subscribe to Rads if you're new, and I'll see you very soon. It may be the international break, but I've got videos coming up hopefully. So yeah, come on you Reds.